All right, Warm Springs, Georgia, the Little White House. Franklin D. Roosevelt. His home away from the White House. This is the entrance, then there's a museum, and then some other things to see before you get to the actual house. Let's go check it out. This is entering the museum. This car was gifted to FDR by his brother-in-law on his 58th birthday. Click on that if you want to read it. It's him with Winston Churchill. It's during his third inauguration. Pretty nice museum here. A lot of artifacts. And this 38 Ford is the last car that he drove. I've seen a picture of him dedicating the Chickamauga Lock and Dam in Chattanooga in 1940, and I do believe he was sitting in the back of this car when that photo was made. Here's how they did a hand control, the left there for the, I guess, the brake. Previous car there. And there's the Tally-Ho stagecoach. Now that was built in the 1800s, and when FDR purchased the resort here by the Springs, that came with it. So they used it around for parades and whatnot. It was actually restored in the mid-45 or 47, and then it's been restored again after this museum was built in 2003, and they put it inside here for better preservation. And there's poor Eleanor, bless her heart. He had a nice collection of sticks, didn't he? Walking sticks. Yeah, World War II. Rural electrification. Yeah, that was just sort of a brief, quick tour of the museum, some of the highlights, but it's pretty extensive in here. That was the building we were just in. It's kind of neat looking. And then the reception building there. Now this is the Flags and Stones of America. Every state represented. For instance, Alabama, white marble. 22nd state to enter the Union in 1819. There's the white marble in their flag. Petrified wood for Arizona. Black granite for California. There's a lot of granite for the different states, just different types of granite. Limestone for Florida. Not all the stones are cut in the shape of the states. Lava for Hawaii. Another type of granite for Maryland. Yeah, can you imagine cutting that into the shape of the state? Yeah, I don't think so. Of course, granite for North Carolina. Pink marble for Tennessee. Chattanooga. Onyx from Montana. Kind of neat. Jasperite from Michigan. Sioux County quartzite for Iowa. Alright, let's go check out some other buildings. Of course, you know security around this place was very heavy when he was here, especially during those war years. The bump gate. That's the servants' quarters building. Servants lived upstairs, and down below was where the automobiles were kept. There's the actual house. This is inside the servants' quarters. We'll go upstairs. Here and inside the main house, this is all original furnishings. Neat how those windows are so low. Interesting place for a window. If you're outside looking up, you might see more than you bargained for. And that would be the guest house. Let's go check it out. Yes, the living area. That's behind glass. As is this room. Now, Roosevelt started coming to this area in 1924. He built this house from materials timbered on the estate on the property in 1932. He also died here in 1945. Came in through the kitchen. Farmhouse sink that's trendy today. And that is original linoleum floor. They covered it up when they opened it up with carpet. Don't you love that? I'm no cook, but I'd say that's like an oven. Now the cook, upon his death, FDR's death, wrote on the wall, Daisy Bonner cooked the first meal and the last one in this cottage for President Roosevelt. And she also, at that same time, stopped the clock. Toaster, looks like a waffle maker or something. Bread boxes. Butler's pantry.
You can see it right here.
A lot of their dishes and whatnot. Dining area, obviously. And here's the living room. Now, this chair is where he was sitting when he was having his portrait made. He had an aneurysm and basically died right there in that chair. And this is also where he would have most of his fireside chats that were on the radio. So there's the fireplace, and that's the chair. He was queer for ships, Nautica.
Yeah, just take a drive to the sidewalk.
JFK saw this one when he was visiting here, and he contacted the person that built that. Was going to have one built for himself. This is the secretary's bedroom and bathroom. It's behind glass, so that's why the glare. Now this is on the back porch. FDR added that roundy area there to mimic the stern of a ship. So he was into anything nautical and ships, so he had that added later on. That's back looking to the living room again, in the dining room. This is FDR's bedroom. Now he and Eleanor had separate bedrooms. This desk was brought here after his death. That came out of the White House, the Oval Office. That was his desk. This is his bathroom off of the bedroom. He had the toilet built up, which would be known as a handicap toilet today. And this tub he had pulled back from the wall so he could get his hand in there to push himself up. And there's a piece of wood. Can't really see it. It's down there in case he dropped the soap. He could reach around and get it. And here's Eleanor's bedroom. That was her bed when she was here. And then if the grandkids came or something, they'd stay. One of them would stay over in that bed over there. Otherwise, if she wasn't here, when it was just him, then guests would stay in it. Some presidential toilet paper. God, it looks original too.
And just a couple of days before he passed away, he's in his chair here.
Now these throughout the house are panic buttons. If there was some sort of a security threat or something, you hit that button and they'd call all the authorities. And there's this wheelchair that he had here at the house. Now that chair that he used to have the fireside chats and where he died, that was him in that chair 2 days before he died.
Oh, I see him. Yep, I do. Yep.
Interesting. Looks like a linen closet. Okay, this was the dog.
When you're ready, stay to the left up the drive to the sidewalk
And
take
these
the right
are,
to
if you
the
can
left.
see the scratches in the glass,
Finished portrait is.
that is supposedly from the dog scratching up against it, like little dogs do when somebody comes around. And back out the front of the house, there's the guest house and the servants' quarters. It's a beautiful day out here. It's what, August 22nd? I'm going to walk now on up to the Legacy building where the unfinished portrait is. And here's the Legacy exhibit building. Click on that if you want to read it. And that is the unfinished portrait. That's what he was sitting for when he died. So that's kind of eerie. That's what he looked like right at the end. Click on it if you need to stop it for a minute. Of course, you know that by now. Now here's the finished portrait as it would have looked had it been completed. Click on that, you can read about it. The only difference would have been the color of his tie. Alright, that's going to conclude the tour of the little White House, Warm Springs, Georgia. I am starving to death. I need lunch. I'm out of here. Alrighty then. And of course you get exited out through the gift shop. And just a side note, this sailboat looks similar to what I have in the Florida house. It's a decor item, not that big though.